What's going on, Minties? The Uncanny Omar here from Near Mint Condition. And today I'm going to take a first look at the Havok and Wolverine Meltdown trade paperback and the Epic Collection X-Men. It's always darkest before the dawn, and where they fit in. So please stay tuned. Now, before we get this video started, I'd like to say a quick word from our sponsor. This episode is sponsored by CheapGraphicNovels.com, your online home for brand new graphic novels and collected editions up to 50% off cover price. Cheap Graphic Novels prides itself on packaging your books so they arrive safely and in excellent condition, as well as prompt and helpful service. And check out their bargain bin for even greater deals up to 90% off cover price. Now, check this out, Minties. Cheap Graphic Novels is currently running a special promotion for you all. If you're a first-time customer, let them know you were referred by Near Mint Condition at the checkout and you receive a credit for free shipping on your next order. Cheap Graphic Novels, your source of the hottest books with a kind of deep discount, quality shipping, and customer service that will keep you coming back for more. So the first book we're going to look at is the new printing of Havok and Wolverine Meltdown. These books are both scheduled to come out on July 17th. Now, let's look at this. And this is the new printing. It is retailed at $24.99. This originally was printed in 1988. It's a story by Walter and Louise Simonson, and this is really interesting because the Havok artwork is done by John Muth, and then the Wolverine art is done by Kent Williams. And I always enjoyed the way that this book looked. It felt like a graphic novel, and probably would have been released as a graphic novel later on, like the Jungle Adventure and those type of books. But man, I love this. This is the first time you see this character named Scarlet. I'm not gonna dive into what the book is, the story's about, but Scarlet later on shows up in the Age of Apocalypse. And I always found it interesting how these two art styles just kind of mesh. There's Wolverine. You probably have seen many of these pictures before on the internet. They're pretty popular. And let me show you a little bit of Muth's Havok, who kind of looks like James Dean. There's Scarlet. But like I said, Wolverine, I like the way he looks with his hair like that. It's pointy hair. Now, this is written during the time that these books were coming out. This is the Jim Lee Volume 1, but this is during the, what everybody calls the Outback years. So that's when these stories are probably best read. Sadly, they probably will never see a collection in oversized format. Well, I don't know. I say that, but maybe one day. But they didn't fit it into the omnibus, so I'm glad that they put it here. They may fit it into an epic collection, because stories like this give me hope. This is X-Men, the Epic Collection. It's always darkest before the dawn. Now, this is Volume 4. When does this take place? Well, it takes place right after those two omnis right there. The stories in this book right here have never been collected in trade paperback format. Well, some of them have, but not like this. This happens in between those two omnis and Uncanny X-Men Omnibus Volume 1. And I think it's really cool that they decided to finally print all of these, because the contents in here have been printed before in two Marvel Masterworks. The retail price of this is $39.99. Here is all the content that you get. And like I said, happens right before Giant Size 1. Or not right before, but after the events of Omnibus Volumes 1 and 2. So when the X-Men went on hiatus, that's why it includes a lot of these covers right here. It just includes the reprinted covers when X-Men went on hiatus. And then it has issues from the Incredible Hulk, Amazing Adventures, and then the Avengers. But I thought it was really cool because literally what they did is they took the Marvel Masterworks X-Men Volumes 7 and 8 and put them together in one book. So this is why when you last see Beast in the X-Men Omnibus or in the old school X-Men, he was a human with just big feet and big hands. But later on, when he appears in Giant Size X-Men or in Chris Claremont's Uncanny X-Men Omnibus, he's a hairy blue beast. And he's gray right now, but that's about to change too. So all those stories are in here. All the stories of the X-Men appearing during those years where there was no X-Men comic book, believe it or not. It got canceled and it was on the brink of extinction. No pun intended, there he is, blue. Until we got Giant Size number 1, and that changed the game. So I thought it was really cool that they finally decided to collect all these in just one trade paperback. So the book contains all the covers from X-Men 67 through 93, and then annuals 1 and 2. Like I said, they're just covers, but all they were just reprints. Amazing Adventures 11 through 17, Amazing Spider-Man 92, Incredible Hulk 150, 161, 172, 180 through 182, and we all know what that is, right? First appearance of Wolverine, of course. Marvel Team Up 4 and 23, Avengers 110 and 111, Captain America 172 through 175, Defenders 15 through 16, and Giant Size Fantastic Four number 4, which is the first appearance of Jamie Madrox. So this sets up all the early appearances of characters that will later show up in the Uncanny X-Men run. That's what this serves the purpose of. So you get talent in here like Steve Englehart and Roy Thomas, Jerry Conway, and then on artwork you get the great John Buscema, Sal Buscema, Don Heck, and Gil Kane. So it's a nice little mix. I'm glad that they decided to do this. I was kind of saddened that they didn't include some of these stories in the Omnis, but glad that they went ahead and did this. Obviously, if you're getting the Epic Collections, you're going to be getting this. But if you own the omnibuses and want to experience that everything X-Men related, you need this book. And that is everything included in these 2 trade paperbacks and where they fit in the chronological order, or my suggestion where I would read them. If you enjoyed the contents of this video, please think about subscribing and hit that like button. And don't forget to check out our Redbubble shop where we sell t-shirts and stickers. We can also be found on Patreon, where you get early access to videos and behind the scenes. And you can also follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at NearMintCon. Again, this was the Uncanny Omar. Thank you very much for watching. And remember, if it's classy and cool, it must be near mint.